Hi, welcome to another episode of or another video, I should say, of the Targeted Individual Experience, the Targeted Individual Program. It's an update. Last week, for the latter half of the week, I didn't do a video. What is happening was that I was on the heavy remote neural monitoring, as well as silent subliminal and microwave inside the home. So they were basically microwaving us, my kids, Pam, and they were basically mind controlling her to target me. You know, the whole palm behind the back, hands down. As she walked past, she'll turn her palm of her hand towards me. Got in the bed with her one night, and you know, the minute I got into the bed, she just like raised her hands up and yawned with the palm of her hand facing towards me. So she was yawning, but she was using the back of her hands, up to her mouth with her palm facing towards me. And she did the same thing when I got up in the morning. And I noticed that when she did that, even though she was her back was turned towards me, but she was looking to see if I was looking. Okay, and so sometimes, I'm like, yeah, she knows what's going on. And then there are other times with the synchronization with her, with the kids inside the house targeting me. I know that's silent subliminal, microwave mind control, okay, or SSSS, silent sound spread spectrum. So again, because it was so heavy, and I just kind of had to remove myself from the situation. So after she came home from work, I would leave, and the video here that I'm going to start off with, this is I'm going back to Pam's Friday morning, and it was a Thursday morning. Well, I think it was Thursday morning, because was it Thursday, Friday? Actually, you know what? It's Friday morning, because I got up early so I can go pick up the kids from her to take the kids to school. So as I reached at the corner of Clarkson and Rogers in Brooklyn, I started hearing fire trucks, and see if you'll start to hear it. Fire truck. Okay. So when I said the fire truck, because I looked to my left and I saw one fire truck was parked up, and there's a Dollar Tree right at that side, and it was parked up alongside the Dollar Tree, and then another one had turned onto that street, onto Rogers, with the siren. So that's where you're hearing. And when I turned, there was a fireman who was standing outside of the fire truck, and he did this hand signal, and it was more like, whereas, if you do the peace sign, except he had his hands with his two fingers turned down. Okay, and I was like, wow, they're starting pretty early. You hear them, right? But okay. Again, and the minute I leave, you see, I just change up their tactics. So they're
they're not going to show themselves.
And
now,
this is something that they do. What they're doing is, like you hear me say, they're changing up their tactics. Even the police. Now the police, they're coming behind me aggressively. They're pulling alongside of me, but they're not in front of me, right? So, because they don't want me to get them on camera, what it is that they're doing. Okay, so they're going to change their tactic. This is the fire truck. Change the tactics. Okay, because normally they'll just like fly past me or coming towards me, sirens blazing. Now they do it in a very sneaky way. You'll hear them, but you won't see them. And I'm gonna give you another example of it. That particular day, right in the evening, as I was on my way home.
You see them parked up.
Okay, so let me just speed this up. Okay, so I got on Pam's block. So later on that night, I left the car by Pam because it was her weekend for the kids, and I went home. And so when I got to the intersection where I live, I have to cross over to get on my block. The minute I got to the intersection, the noise campaign started again with the fire trucks. And this is at that exact moment that I took up my phone, and you'll hear them. You'll hear them, but you won't see them.
Wow, they're making a lot of noise tonight. Again, they've been having me on the heavy remote neural monitoring.
Now, again, the minute I got to that corner, they started with the noise campaign. And I was wishing that they would be coming down this block. But you know what? I was like, you know what? Earlier on, they did the same thing. I didn't see them. So they're changing up their tactics.
Every time I say something, they use the sirens.
Yeah, and that's because, again, being on the heavy remote neural monitoring, every time I said something, right, for the entire day, they started with the noise campaign. Every time I said something.
They target me. So I left Pam's house, come to my house, and got to my block. As soon as I got to my block, they started with the sirens. Now, of course, they're not gonna. Let's see if they're gonna come down here. They're probably not gonna come down here because they're not. I'm recording, so it's just to make noise so that I can hear.
Okay, all right. Now, this morning. So you think that it's the end, right? I mean, over the weekend. So let me explain, because I didn't do a lot of filming over the weekend. So Pam wanted to go to New Jersey to get the kids some clothes. So I didn't want to go because of the whole, being heavily on the remote neural monitoring, the heavy targeting that was happening. But I was like, you know what? If I don't go with her, she's not going to go. Okay? So I woke up Saturday morning. I called her at 10 a.m. in the morning, told her that I was going to take her and the kids to Jersey, and I said, okay, get the kids ready, and I'll call you back. So 2 hours later, I called her back at 12 o'clock. I said, hey, I'm leaving in a little bit, are you almost ready? She's like, yeah, we're almost ready. So I get to her house at 1 o'clock, okay? Got upstairs, she's not ready, okay? Another hour went by before she got herself ready, so it's at 2 o'clock. And then another hour went by because she was looking for stuff, what have you. So we didn't end up leaving Brooklyn until like 3 o'clock. So when we got to Jersey, we went to the children's place, and she was like, I gotta use the bathroom, and she didn't want to use the bathroom in the children's place. So I was like, okay, you know what? let's go to Burlington. So we went to Burlington Coat Factory, and I had dropped them off, and then I waited for parking. Then I got parking. Then I went into Burlington. About an hour and a half later of us shopping, we get to the cash register. Maybe 2 hours later, we get to the cash register, and I look out the storefront, and I saw the light, the headlight, and the tail light was on the car, and I'm like, listen, I did not turn on the lights. Okay, I did not turn on the headlight because it was bright daylight. Okay, I mean, this is a 1998 Nissan Altima. Okay, it doesn't have daytime running headlights. Okay, you have to turn the switch in order to turn on the light, and I did not have the light on. So when I went outside, got to the car, turned off the light, went back in the store. We're still waiting on at the cash register. And again, my whole time throughout Burlington, I'm being targeted. But I wasn't paying them no mind, because also, I didn't bring my cane with me, and all of a sudden, the back of my knee just started hurting to where I can barely walk. And so anyway, pay for our stuff, went to the car to put the stuff in the trunk. Try to turn on the car wouldn't start. Now, so there was a guy that was parked up right in front of me. He was parked on the street. I was parked in the parking lot, but I was facing directly where he was parked. He was parked sideways. Okay, and so I thought maybe he's waiting for his family. Maybe they're in Burlington. Who knows? And so I asked him if he had a jumper, and he said yes. So I asked him if he can please give me a jump. I'm grateful that he said yes. And so he gave me a jump start, and I told him thank you, and I noticed he didn't leave. So when Pam and the kids came to the car now, he turns to Pam and asks her, do you want my number? And I was like, for what? So she asked him, no, that's okay. He's like, you sure you don't want my number? You can call me if you get stuck in Jersey. And I'm like, wait, that don't sound right. The minute he said that kind of like made me very suspicious. Okay, it made me very suspicious because, like I said, I did not turn on the headlight in the car. I did not do that. Okay, so when he said that, and he kept like trying to pressure her into taking his number, and I was like, no. And I said to her, and she was like, no. She was like, no. It's okay. It's okay. And he drove off. Okay? He literally drove off. He wasn't waiting for anyone. This dude was parked up right in front of me. Okay? Waiting. Okay, so he probably broke into the car to turn on the light so it drained the car battery. Now, why would he do that? Okay, and again, so it has to do with them and this narrative, right? So, for example, and I realized what was happening. I said, you know what? This is what's happening here, because they've been sending me subliminal message about being arrested and such, right? And also, when I was in the Burlington Coach Factory, it was funny because when we were at the cashier, one of the we were at the cash register. One of the cashier came up, and she had jumper cables in her hand, right? And she passed it to the other cashier, and I didn't pick up on it at first. It wasn't until after everything was done, after we were on the road, I began to realize and put pieces together. So basically, they drained the battery in the car, broke into the car, drained the battery into the car, so that they can have, I guess, my fingerprint. Because again, it's a narrative that they used to run in the past that they are trying to rehash right now. Because in the past, they were like, I guess, trying to get my fingerprint so they can plant it at the crime scene. So I used to keep all of my receipts everywhere I go. I used to keep all of my receipts. So again, they're trying to rehash that narrative, okay? And so that was what was happening yesterday. And like I said, I didn't realize it, okay? And actually, when the guy gave us a jump, and he ended up pulling off, Pam turns to me and said, "We're very lucky." Okay? And right there I knew that was mind control. Okay? That was silent sound spread spectrum. Okay? And plus, my kids, again, also experiencing headaches, the same kind of headaches that I got. Even Pam started complaining that she had headaches. And up until last night, I was having headaches, and I had to take ibuprofen before I went. I woke up in the middle of the night last night. And what woke me up was there was a police car driving by very fast on her block, and it turned on its sirens for about 2 to 3 seconds. Okay, and it was very, very loud, and that woke me up. Okay, so I was like, well, sleep deprivation again, and with the headaches, I had to end up taking a ibuprofen. So that was the weekend. Okay, and then last night, she started talking to me again. It's like every time, and this has been happening like since forever, but when they're heavily targeting me, she always, like, if I'm like, okay, I'm ready for bed, I tell her, listen, I'm ready for bed, can you clear down the bed with your stuff on it? Whether I'm telling her I'm ready for bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I ask her to clear off the bed because she has stuff on the bed, it takes her 2 hours to just clean up the bed. She will do other things, okay, but then she'll finish at exactly 1 o'clock, and then that's when we end up getting in the bed to go to sleep. Okay, it never fails. It's always at 1 o'clock. And I told her last night, I said, listen, I start seeing the patterns in the things that you're doing. Why is it that every time we have to go to sleep, okay, or every time, because she wanted to be intimate, and I'm like, listen, I have to get up, 6:45, 7 o'clock in the morning. I said, you're on bed until 8 o'clock. I have to get up. Why is that every time, you want to be intimate, or I want to be intimate, okay, or I ask you to clear down your bed because I'm tired, why is it that every time that I'm going to sleep at 1 o'clock, or we're intimate at 1 o'clock? What is it about 1 o'clock at night that, all of a sudden, now you're ready to go to bed? Okay, you have to get up. You gotta go to school. I mean work for 9 o'clock, and then when you come home, you always complain about you're tired. And when I tell you, listen, you need to go to bed early. We need to go to bed early. When I come at 10:30 and say, hey Pam, can you clean off your bed? It shouldn't take you 2 hours. It shouldn't take you 2.5 hours. I understand you gotta go brush your teeth, do all of that, but it should take 5 minutes just to clear on your bed. But she has to find other things to do, right? She has to find other things to do. And like I said, when you as a TI, and you begin to understand what's being done to you, what's happening to you, you start to recognize the pattern in things. Okay? And I recognize a lot of patterns being a TI because of what they're doing. I recognize their tactic, I understand some of their tactics, okay, and I look for the patterns. That's why when they're targeting me with that particular number, I look at it as a pattern, because the repetition of that number during the course of the day is just too much for it to be a coincidence. As a matter of fact, during the case of the morning, when I take the kids to school, take her to work, and come back, it is just too many for it to be a coincidence. Okay, so let me continue. So this morning, Monday, March 7th, 2018. Now remember this video right here. This is from Friday. After I went home, this was about after 10 minutes to 11 at night. So this morning, actually no, we were going to Jersey. Let me stop there. We were going to Jersey, and this guy in this Jeep was driving very aggressively, cutting me off. He cut me off like twice. So I turned on the recording to see if he would do anything stupid, but he didn't. He basically turned off at the next street corner, I guess, once he realized that I was recording. Okay, let me let's see where this is. Okay, so here you go. So this is this morning, and again, as soon as I got off the block and I made the right onto Bedford to take Ethan to school and Alyssa to school. Okay, so the minute I made that right turn, you hear the sirens. And this is not the fire truck now. This is the ambulance. Okay. Also, and I almost forgot this, on our way to the mall in Jersey, we're on the highway, and there's a service lane on the highway, right? The service lane, and all of a sudden I saw all these fire trucks, all these police cars, all parked. I mean, not really parked there, but they were like driving very slow, very, very slow. Okay, and again, this is something that they do repeatedly. Okay, and like I said, they've been targeting me very heavily the past few days. Actually, from the beginning of last week up until today, they've been using some very heavy-handed tactics, especially with police driving up aggressively behind me, okay, and then pulling alongside of me, and then turning at that particular street or that intersection. Okay, they don't go past because they know what they're doing, and again, they don't want to be caught on camera because they know that I'm recording. So they're going to do stuff behind me now. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to purchase another camera so that I can put it in the back of the vehicle so I can record what's going on behind me. Right? and again, you want something interesting? You want to hear something interesting? Is that when I get up in the morning, let's say I get up at 6:45, okay, and I'm laying in bed, or if I'm sleeping on the couch, I lay on the couch, and I lay on the couch for 15 minutes, right? Just laying there, getting myself together. I will not hear a car honk, a police siren, a fire truck, or anything. The minute I get out of bed or I get up off the couch, immediately the noise campaign would start. Immediately. Okay? And then you hear the sirens again. So you guys should be used to it by now. Whenever I do my video, yeah, they're gonna with the sirens, okay? Make you think there's like a war zone over here. I mean, it is a war. They're waging psychological warfare on me.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Okay, now I want you to watch this kid. The hand signals. You can rewind the video, you'll see, and then she starts flicking her hair. Okay, and watch this. Let's watch this again. All right. So here's the kid. And the two Hispanic women. She starts flicking her hair. Okay. Now, also lately, they've been using a lot more Hispanic women to target me, more so than I've ever experienced. You know, it's more concentrated. You know, I mean, they use all kinds of women, but sometimes they'll use a concentrated group of women, right? So sometimes, like over on my block, there's a lot of Jewish, Hasidic Jews there, so they'll use a lot of Jewish women, right? I mean, it's constant that they use a lot of black women, but you know, because you're black, you know, you're around black people all the time. They, you know, they'll use black women to target me, so you're not really cognizant, because they'll use them at least, I would say, 90% of the time, mostly. Okay, and then they'll start use other groups. So lately, they've been using a lot of Hispanic women, and what I've noticed they've been doing also is that, especially today, and I'm going to show you how, they actually stop my video. They hack into my phone. You know, whenever they don't want me to record someone that they're using specifically to target me, they will hack into my phone and stop the video from recording. Okay? Okay, let's take my daughter to school and start off. So I just dropped her off. I'm leaving. Okay, I want to miss some of this stuff because I want to just get to a certain part in the video. Okay, that's that one. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so I'm on Flatbush and Martins, waiting for Pam. Okay. That's me. I'm trying to fix the car mount because the phone keep tilting up. Okay, so now you got the construction workers. They come out and they're going to use them to target me this morning. You know, start to do the hand signals, the hand padding on the head. So, the last video that just ended, okay, when I fixed the camera, I noticed that it had stopped recording. So I pressed the record button, okay, and it started recording. Okay, so when I'm here now, I reviewed the videos and I'm looking for that particular video, because in that particular video, after that video ended, there was a young Hispanic woman that came and she stood here. She stood right here. She looked at me and she started playing with her hair. Okay, started doing all these hand signals and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, she's blatantly doing this. But of course, you know, they had hacked into my phone and stopped the phone camera from doing any kind of recording. Okay, so I had looked at the the phone to make sure it was recording, and I thought it was recording. Okay, but it wasn't, because when I had pressed the button, it was recording. You start to see the numbers, the seconds, then the minute. But they hacked into it, and the phone wasn't recording anything. So when I got home in the house, look at them, looking for the video, because I was like, yes, I got these bastards. Yes, I got them. Found out that I didn't have the video, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not surprised, because that's what they do. They cover their ass in every single way. They will undermine you as a TI in every single way, to keep you from exposing them. Okay, and this is what they're doing. This is what they have done. Okay, so anyway, let me start this video, because I'm waiting for Pam. Yep, and you see me move the camera, turn the camera over, because he was standing there targeting me. And then I turned the camera over. I know he's trying to play it cool. Okay, so that's... I was doing here. All right. Okay. So I just noticed this. All right. Let's see. So you're gonna see again. This is a Hispanic woman. Okay, let's go back. So the minute she comes across the street, they're gonna come out of the bodega. Okay. He's gonna get on his knees. Okay. Now, they're all together, right? But watch. He's leaning back on the storefront, right? He's not walking with them. Okay. Now, the minute he grabs his behind, and this is what they do, to me. Sometimes they'll walk in front of me, or they'll walk towards me, and they'll grab their behind. So let's see if we can. Let this play out. Look, did he just grab his crotch? Okay, watch, you'll see. Yep, he did the action as soon as and then look at him. You see that? Let's play for you one more time. Grab his behind, good, cover his mouth, and he walks off. So they've been using and doing these scenarios with Hispanic women recently. Okay, so I wonder what they're going to do next. Are they going to use Jewish women next, or are they going to use Caucasian women next? So right now, there's a concentrated effort of these perpetrators using Hispanic women am I targeting? Now you notice how you don't see the other two gentlemen from the last couple of videos that I've done. Pinch your nose. See? Pinches her nose. Sorry, everyone. If you're a TI watching this, I didn't do it to target you. Just quick reflex. Okay? So, watch. Okay. I gotta go back a little bit more. Alright. So, watch. Street theater played out. You know, the leaving theme. He comes out, he looks at her, they give each other hand signal. Alright? She looks, she pinches her nose. Okay? Alright, now here comes Pam. This is her right here. Okay, now look at what Pam do. As she walks by, she's gonna stare at the garbage. Okay, so I'm taking her to work. Let's see.
It's still, you know, quicker regardless.
Okay, where is it? Somewhere.
Who wants to claim?
Not necessarily. Not if you opted into a guy who was a no. Yeah, that's not what she didn't say that.
It was somewhere along this route here that a police car drove very aggressively behind me and then turned onto one of these streets. And so, like I said, they're changing up their tactics. They're still targeting me, but the emergency vehicles, like the ambulances, not the ambulances, but the fire trucks and the police vehicles, they're behind me now, or they're, as I drive by, they might be on a side street, with the lights flashing, with all the sirens on. Okay, so let's go here. Okay. All right, so coming up here, again, you'll see synchronization as I approach the intersection. You're going to see a police cruiser. There he goes, slowly driving by. Okay. All right, so from that instant right there, okay, now as I made the left, okay, wait, you'll see another. Okay, and so what do you think from what I just told you about my trip to Jersey? Okay, with the car being with them breaking into the car and basically turning the lights on so where the battery would die. Okay, so what happened here? This, to me, I'm not sure if it's one of the police truck. Well, it's a police truck, okay, but I'm not sure what truck it is. But it may be one of those I forget what you call them, but that have the a tow truck, police tow truck. Okay. All right, and let's see again. Okay, so I'm on my way to the block, and I wasn't really focusing on anybody there, but back on the block. So that's just what happened this morning, and as well as me talking about the weekend and last week, and I showed you the video Friday morning, hearing the fire trucks. Friday night, again, as I got to the intersection, get ready to walk across the street to get on my block. The minute I got to the intersection, these sirens, fire trucks. There were many of them too. They were really, really loud. Okay, so again, they're changing up their tactic, and again, using a lot of Hispanic women, in a concentrated form, and I call that ethnic targeting, because they'll use one group of people, right? One ethnic group of people in a more concentrated form at a time, and then they'll use everybody. You'll see a combination of them using everybody. But lately, I see a lot of Hispanic women, okay, deliberately targeting me, deliberately, okay, and they all involve in the street theater. Okay, so that's gonna be it for the video, and I'm gonna do a couple more this week if I'm not too busy. I'll probably be heading home again later, so I might not be able to do a video in the morning because I'm gonna let Pam take the kids to school, and I just, you know, come after. Okay.